All right, so for this category, we're going to determine the exponential regression equation that models each situation. Use the equation to make the associated prediction. Round all values to the hundredths place. So number 3 says, Mandeep deposited $600 into a savings account in 1995. The table shows the value of Mandeep's savings account from 1995 to 2020. Predict the account's value in 2035. Okay, so I already went ahead and, as you can see on the stats calculator, already entered the data, so you don't have to watch me do it because it takes a long time. However, after that, after we're done entering the data, you go to Calc menu, you do exponential regression, and this time it doesn't matter what your diagnostic is, on or off, because we don't need the R value, but let's just click calculate. So first, let's write out our equation. F of x is equal to, we're going to round everything to the nearest hundredths, so 2 decimal places. So for our A is 598.55. Okay, and then multiplied by B value, so 2 decimal places, so 1.05 raised to the power of x. Okay, so from here, we're actually going to have to figure out what t value or what x value you want to place for the year 2035. Oops, I didn't mean to scroll up. So for the year 2035 is what we want to figure out. So in 1995, x equals 0. This would be then, for when x is 5, this would be 2000, right? Yes, okay. And then if we want 2035, well, let me write this out. X value and year. If x is 5 and the year is 2000 over here, we're just going to add 35 to each. And so then x is 40 when the year is 2035. So here's a little shortcut so you don't actually have to count all the way to 2035. We just know that when all we just need to do is just add 35 years to when x is 5. So now our x value is 40, and this is the number we're going to plug in to our equation. So f of 40 is equal to 598.55 times 1.05 raised to the power of 40. So let me see if I could pull up a calculator on here. So give me a second. Okay, so as you can see, I just went up to Delta Math and I pulled up their calculator so you can see it on the bottom half of my right side of the screen. And all I'm going to enter in is this part that I'm underlining, okay? So 598 times 1.05 raised to the power of 40. And then we want to predict the account's value in 2035. It doesn't say, oh yeah, it says round all values to the hundredths place. So we're going to use 2 decimal places as well. So 4209.91325. So the 3 is a small number, so it's going to keep the 1 as a 1. So it's 0.91. So this is your final answer, 4209.91. All right, if you have any questions, let me know. If not, keep watching the video and we're moving on to the next one. So for number 4, it says, every hour, a scientist records the number of cells in a colony of bacteria growing in her lab. The sample begins with 16 cells. I can't read. Predict the number of cells in the colony after 10 hours. So we're going to go back here to our Delta Math stats calculator, and I'm going to edit the list. And now give me a moment as I pause the recording and edit the list so you don't have to watch me do that painstakingly slowly. All right, so as you can see, I have copied the values of our t-table into Delta Math t-table. And now I'm going to scroll up. Instead of edit list, I want the calc menu. I want exponential regression in my submenu, and diagnostic can be on or off. It really doesn't matter. Calculate. Okay, from here, let me write out our equation. We're rounding everything to the nearest hundredth, so everything goes to 2 decimal places. So for our A value is 14.37, multiplied by the B value, which is 1.64, raised to the power of x. Okay, so we just rounded everything to the nearest hundredth. And then we're going to plug in some numbers. So let's see, predict the number of cells in the colony after 10 hours. So for this one, I guess it's easier because this is 0 hours, this is 1 hour. And so if we want 10 hours, we literally just plug in x is equal to 10. So let's plug it in. 14.37 times 1.64 raised to the power of 10. Let's go to our delta mass regular calculator. Let's clear all that and let me type it in. All right, so I've typed it in and we're gonna round this. Well, I know it says round everything to the nearest hundredths, but if you're thinking about number of cells, it's gotta be a whole number. So I'm actually gonna choose to round this to a whole number. So 2022.5, 5 is a big number, and so therefore it's 2023. So, but 5 is a big number, so it rounds that last 2 up into a 3. So this is your final answer for this question. So your task now is to do part A, 1 through 6, and part B, 1, 2, 5, and 6. So you're going to do all of these. Some of these T-tables are sideways, some are forward, it's okay. And then over here, as you can see, there are some that are crossed out. Just don't do the ones that are crossed out, okay? All right, other than that, if you have any questions, please, it is up to you to let me know. Other than that, you are free to just keep working. If you finish early, good job.